You guys haven't started hawking Polymarket Studio. You guys haven't started branching out to read for gold or athletic greens. Like Jimmy Dore, I knew it was over a long time ago when he started hawking gold and silver. I was like, that's some Ben Shapiro shit. It's all over, about to cry. Right?
So
There's a certain point when people, like when Joe Rogan took the $100 million, Gavin and I have talked about it. Even if the politics were gone, even if he hadn't talked about politics as much, and even if he'd still just been like a little cringy and talked too much about, like, you know, swimming when it doesn't really seem like it's a real interest of his, I'd put that out of my mind. But the show lost something. It lost a little bit of the, you know, respect that you have for a show that doesn't take corporate money.
So, guys, we know who this is. Oh, my God, both of their eyes are closed.
Right, and he always did
I did. Oh, my God.
ad read, so it's a little...
Damn. So this is the Vanguard talking to Krystal Ball, who comes out and talks about what's been going on with TYT and just, I mean, the hypocrisy of TYT. And, you know, Krystal, she does keep it real. I have a lot of respect for Krystal. I think that, I'm sorry, she does keep it real. I'm not sorry, but like, she definitely keeps it real as she's going to keep it. And I respect her for it. So this is Krystal Ball trashing Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur, as she should, you know, on the Vanguard. Let's get into it.
Bit different, but you know what I mean? Once it's tainted, once, you know, what got you to the dance becomes not good enough for you and you kind of turn your nose up at it and you're like, how can I sell out? People don't love it, right? You guys have always been able to not just survive, but thrive. You've expanded. You have Ryan Grimm, who I think is, you know, I said earlier, one of the great foreign policy reporters in all of America. What him and Jeremy Scahill have put together at Dropsite is truly incredible. It's invaluable for the people to be able to read and access that. I was so excited when they left The Intercept, I could hardly take it. It's been, you know, even more than we could have ever asked for from them. So you guys have been able to incorporate that into breaking points, and you still aren't taking corporate cash. How do you pull it off? And you have people reach out to you and be like, yo, we're Coca-Cola. We want to give you $100 million.
I mean, we've had a number of potential advertisers reach out. And I think the key was that when we started the show, Sagar and I have had a very clear cut understanding of what we were willing to do and what we weren't. And so there can't be any sort of like slippery slope. It's just, no, we're not doing ad reads, period. Don't care how much you're going to pay me. Don't care who you are. It could be like, you know, Puppies for Children Are Us or whatever, like the most beautiful product in the world, but we're just not doing that. We're never going to talk to an advertiser or a sponsor. Everything has to be at arm's length. We're going to balance, you know, the programmatic ads with direct audience premium memberships, because you also have to worry about audience capture too. And I do think maybe partly because we have this ideological divide on our show. Like, I always know that there's going to be a portion of the audience that hates what I'm saying. So I can't really be audience captured no matter what, because we just have that like divide as part of what we signed up for in the deal. But we just, you know, really stay true to those values. And like, we're really fortunate. The channel is really successful. It's successful beyond my wildest dreams. Like,
and that's they do have a good setup going. I mean, I have covered Sagar and her debating about this. I mean, this insane, you know, kidnapping of people. But, you know, it is good to have two people on opposing sides have debate. People want to see the debate. They want to see the banter. One thing about Krystal Ball, when she's debating, she's pulling stuff up and bringing things up. I like a show like that. It could be fun, you know. She's look and look, right? You know, I'm a girl, so I mean, you see the little avatar or whatever. I think that she's pretty. She takes care of herself. And so she presents herself well. Like, let's keep it real. Sagar, he does take care of himself too. You know, they both look nice. They're both like vibrant, and they just make it. That's how I think it should be. And then there's like a lot of information that's just like flowing, and the people are gonna want more of that, right? And what Krystal is going to see is that the divide is gonna start leaning her way when the results of all of the things that are happening now start to show themselves. There's a divide in MAGA right now that people are acting like is not happening, and there's a real divide.
I'm good with that. I'm happy. I don't need to grab for some, giant pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. We feel really proud of what we've been able to build. And I think one of the also challenges moving forward is to help people understand that just because you're on YouTube or you're a podcast doesn't mean that you're independent, doesn't mean that you're uncorrupted, doesn't mean that you're any different or less propagandistic than mainstream news. In fact, in many instances, many of these channels are actually worse. So, for us, I think it was just being really clear upfront and understanding the marketplace. And, we're really fortunate. We also got to start at the Hill. So we got to understand the landscape before we jumped in with our own show. So we weren't like figuring things out as we went. We kind of knew what we were getting into. And so we're able to build it that way. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that though. It's very kind. I mean, I am proud of what we've been able to do and sustain through all kinds of different political ups and downs and different news cycles and different, this team's up, that team's up, whatever.
I mean, you guys should be as proud, probably prouder than you are. I mean, it's truly something to remark at, given the fact that. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Oh no, I was just.
So let's see if they get to the part of TYT. Like, they kind of alluded to, the poly market and all of that, and she's right. Like, look, not everybody is independent on YouTube. A lot of people are, but not everybody is. So shout out to them again for what they do.
Feels weird. It feels weird. I gotta say. I mean, at this point, we've done Breaking Points longer than we did Rising, so it feels a little removed and distant. But especially for a while, it was so strange to have this thing that truly Sagar and I built. Right, like the concept of it, the approach, the ideological straight, like all of the radars, all of it, like we built. And then to have someone else mouthing the words like, "What's on your radar?" I'm like, what is this? This is so weird to have this like phantom ghost product out there. I guess the best thing I could say is it's a testament to the strength of the concept that it still exists to this day, even in like such a strange and bizarro world form. But I don't know. It is a weird thing. I have to confess, every once in a while I'll go and check in like, what's going on over there? But
just laugh.
Always a pleasure. And one last thing I wanted to say to you guys, I know you sometimes like poke fun at yourselves for, being the drama channel or whatever, but if new media is now as powerful as it's being sold as being, there needs to be media critics. Like that's not looked down upon as a role when it's applied to mainstream press. So I don't think you guys should like deride the role that you're filling in the marketplace.
She's absolutely right. I'm actually a member. I think I have to rejoin though because it might have dropped off. She's absolutely right about that point.
American workers are okay. There's a good chance they got their hands on leaked documents that show there's a political crisis on
distribute the funds. I don't think Trump has that.
Saying,
and
work with Instagram. That's the biggest liar. And, was that part of it?
With his endorsement, media environment, cabinet members or Senate
inauguration day, social media and Times and their political leaders have that's the cultural and political power. So it says, you and what army? Right. So those are some of the things.
Demo in this apartment that
you and Kyle are like resisting so aggressively. The disaffected liberal thing too is important, where I want our commentary on our end to be both like intersectional, I think that's and defensive in on every front in terms of not throwing any group over the bus, right? And I think that it's a different throwing every group is being thrown over the bus. Actually, yes. And I think that's another thing I'm trying to focus on as well.
And so what they're talking about here was, and this isn't the actual full clip, but they're talking about how TYT, Cenk Uygur, I mean, really, like it's been like, oh, the progressives are bad. The progressives are bad. And it's just really been signaling for attention. Like, I'm kind of doing this on the fly a little bit, but and I really wanted to put this together appropriately, but for some reason I cannot find. I hate when this happens because this is a real conversation to have. The point is, I'd rather people just be themselves and not try to mesh into, other situations where they are like pretending to be one thing and then they're not. And I do think with Krystal Ball that she's not like that. You know what? And guess what? Sagar isn't like that too. So shout out to them.
Or less propagandistic than mainstream news. logical divide on our show. Like I appreciate you
The fact that, oh, yeah,
all kinds of different.
remark at, given the fact that,
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, I was just going to say, given the fact that everybody else is selling, you know, the progressive movement down the river, you've had conviction, you've been able to grow. It's something that we can look up at and admire and say, these guys did it. You know, it makes it more attainable for everyone else.
I also
Yeah.
think it has to be pointed out that the Hills Rising has just totally gone off a cliff as far as its quality. Do you have any observations?
But like again, this is her talking about the media criticisms again. So just to wrap it all up in a nice bow. Look, we know what's going on with these guys. You know, I mean, it's getting really, really bad. And now Chenka's on the show and Anna's not on the show. There's something going on over there, but we'll keep it locked right here and we'll stay on top of it. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.